So I'm going to have to take my gas mask up because we're expecting the large battalion of NYPD officers you can see in the back behind these arches to advance. I'm not sure if I could say momentarily, but soon. They're preparing to take down the Occupy City Hall protesters and BLM protesters and all the different groups that have managed to occupy the steps outside City Hall and the plaza for the past 5 days. So the police are preparing to move forward. They came early around 5 in the morning to reclaim part of City Hall, and it's to be seen what their intent is tonight. The protesters have taken up and are occupying all the streets around New York City Hall as of right now. So we'll see. There's about, I would say, 2,000 or 3,000 people behind these metal yellow barriers. Looks like the police are coming in now. Hey, sorry. Can you help me? Can you click that back down? No! Can you click that So the activists have basically sealed off their territory, their part of City Hall that they've been occupying, with metal racks. And there's a lot of movement now because they basically have some reconnaissance units amongst the activists that have been tracking the movement of police. And so this group now is advancing the metal barrier on the western front of City Hall. Sorry for the shakiness there. I just had to remove my ventilator and face shield so I could speak. So we are nearing a point of contact with the NYPD. It's not sure where it's going to come from. There's some more riot police over here. Ken G is saying, what are they trying to do? They're just trying to seal off all the streets, the arteries that lead to City Hall. So right now they're basically just grabbing roadwork barriers and appropriating them as buttresses and defenses to further defend the Occupy City Hall territory. I have a feeling the police are gonna, the weakest spot is inside Chambers Street, and I have a feeling the NYPD is gonna rush in from this kind of weak side area. Yeah, so this is the western front is being thoroughly buttressed right now. It's pretty solid, unless they bring a tank in or some other large piece of equipment. Then we have the bicycles, which have been holding steady for like 5 hours now. Die Hard, Vanguard, Bicyclist Battalion, and different satellite speakers around the occupied grounds here. Let's listen in. is a call for extra bodies. Let's see what's happening over Chambers Street. So the police have a spotlight, so you can't clearly see how many there are, but there's several squadrons of riot police in the background there. You can see a captain in a white uniform shirt just stepped out. It's funny, some of these commenters talk about like blue life, how blue life matters too. Blue life can end as soon as you quit your job. If you decide you don't want to be a police officer anymore, you can terminate your blue life, check it, send a resignation letter to your boss, and then the blue life is no longer yours. Black lives don't have the same option. And it's such a ridiculous comparison that we're seeing lately. All right, so I think I'm going to end this live stream and save my battery in case. Well, let's just take one quick look over here, back at the Western Front. So that was the Northern Front. This is the Western Front. And now they're erecting. So this Western Front now is becoming even more firmly barricaded, with some of this construction siding being ripped off, plywood walls quickly being scraped together. I guess people are under the assumption that the police is, perhaps going to enter initially this way. I don't think that's where people are going to come, but.
Oh, you guys leaving?
Well, we're not leaving.
I'll jump it. It's all good.
We're trying to carry supplies so that there are people waiting for those on arraignment.
Give me that. I can lift it over. I got no worries. Of course. That shit should be sealed the fuck off.
Which more people need to be.
Oh yeah, no. I was there.
Chambers. They're going to come through Chambers.
Yeah, this needs to be blocked off.
So you can see how quickly and orderly people have been working together and have constructed a series of, I think, 4 now, there are 4 different rungs of the defense on the Western Front. So it'll be a hell of a mess if the NYPD tries to come in on this side, because they have these construction plywood with the orange netting, and then they have bike rack behind them, and then there's 2 rows of humans on bicycles. So it's going to be really messy. I don't think they're going to come through this way. So I'll jump back on when and if there is any police contact. I expect there will be. I'm going to save my battery. Bye.